automatic promotion to the Premier League is the prize that's tantalisingly close now for Sheffield United, and it's very much in their own hands. With just 6 games to play, they hold a 5-point lead over their nearest rivals, and the next 4 games are all right here at Bramall Lane. First up are Cardiff City, themselves in desperate need of points as they battle to avoid relegation. Kick-off is just under half an hour away, and all the match pass information and broadcasting regulations for today's game go to the website sufc.co.uk. Well, as you can see, the players are in the building here at Bramall Lane for this lunchtime kick-off to get our Saturday afternoon sporting entertainment underway. A smiling Illiman and Jai with the Blades desperate to put right the wrongs of Monday night and that defeat at league leaders Burnley. I'm delighted for this game against Cardiff to welcome into the studio alongside me former Blade Carla Saba, Sheffield United ladies fullback Ellie Wilson. Good afternoon to you both.
Afternoon.
Early start to put right the wrongs of Monday night, Carl.
Yeah, the boys will be desperate to get out there and get back playing them on the front foot as they have most of the season.
We were in the studio, of course, watching on Monday night. Ellie, it'd be fair to say there was some disappointment given the anticipation with which we awaited the game.
Yeah, I think everybody thought it was, it was a massive game on paper. League leaders against second place and a lot to play for both teams, but ultimately, state of the game changed things and we ended up with 10 men, so in very different circumstances.
You're very much in the thick of your playing career now, former professional yourself, Carl. Would you relish the opportunity to be first up on a Saturday, first up to try it and get back to winning ways?
Oh yeah, for definitely. As you said, it was a huge occasion. It turned it, it was an anticlimax. Thought we were the better team when it was 11v11, but after that, it really was an anticlimax. Company himself in his press conference was so deflated because I think he knows when it was 11v11, we were the better team, and he just wanted to beat us so much. But the great chance, after a defeat, when it drags on and you don't get a chance and you're training, being such a short period of time, you're really pumped up and there's so much to play for. The boys have got themselves on the cusp of an incredible promotion.
Yeah, they absolutely have, and we'll look a little more closely at that in a few short moments. But before we do, let's take a look back to Monday night at Turf Moor against Burnley.
The referee is Michael Salisbury, as Sheffield United go in search of another crucial 3 points in the race for automatic promotion. Berger on to McBurney. Positive start from United. They have a corner inside a minute here. It's only half cleared, and McBurney had a swing, and it's still alive in there in the acrobatic effort for Mark McHodich is over the bar. Robinson makes the call, and it's a bit of indecision amid a real mess of this, and that looked like a tug by Fotheringham. It was, and I think West Fotheringham is in big trouble here. Bayer from a long way out, tipped over from Davis. He is called into action finally. Harwood Bellis eventually goes in. Decent ball again, kept alive, and hammered in by Goodmanson. A ball to the back post, kept in play, and the substitute in the right place at the right time to rifle it beyond Adam Davis, and finally Sheffield United's resistance has been broken. Seen off by Harwood Bellis though. Oh, that's a bit short, and Jai might get in there, and Murrich with the challenge. Well, Davis with the cry, didn't get there. Only half cleared, and a gift again for Goodmanson. His second of the night. But the defending handed it to him really. Adam Davis looks to the sky, and Goodmanson gets a late Easter gift to put Burnley 2-0 up. Egan round the back, heads into a dangerous area. Billy Sharp gets the shot away, blocked. Can Bullock return it? Get one now, it'd be interesting. In from Norwood. Basham to the back post. Sharp was coming round the back. I think that's a frustration. We'll just never know as the full-time whistle is blown.
So a 2-0 defeat on the night, finishing the game with 10 men. Now we've had a few days to reflect on the result and the performance. Carl, you were actually at the game. Was the frustration that you look at the key instance of that game, and really everything that went wrong for Sheffield United was pretty much of our own making.
Yeah, I think obviously there was two decisions that went wrong, but the boys were trying their hardest. They'll never do it again. But what pleased me was when they went down to 10 men, and you don't practice defending against 10 men in training all the time. They were incredible. The shape, the wedge shape, they kept giving them the wide man. There's a free pass, play it to the wide man, and we defended it so well. But for me, within 7 or 8 minutes of the second half, I saw something in the boys that I think they felt they could still beat them with 10 men. Such was how good they defended. They went on the front foot, and we tried to attack down the right twice, and they got in against us. And I just think that's a sign of how confident our players are, and they'll be really gutted they lost that match.
No, I agree with it. I think the way they defended, it just allows them to keep themselves in the game. The longer you keep the game at 0-0, which they did for a long period, then means that you just need that one opportunity, one mistake from Burnley, one chance, as we saw, Illiman had that tackle from the keeper just there. It just takes one opportunity, and you still keep that belief that you can then get a result.
And that sort of feeds into some of the comments that the manager Paul Heckingbottom made post-match. He went on to say that he was pleased with the team's spirit in the game, but they need to take it on the chin and move on. We've referred to it already. That is the beauty of the Championship, isn't it? There is no time to reflect or dwell on what's happened. You can only look forward. And case in point today, you've got a team coming to Bramall Lane who, on paper, you'd say Sheffield United are heavy favourites, but make no mistake, this Cardiff City side have got a lot to play for themselves.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Big game for different reasons, Cardiff versus Burnley, but they need to get points on the board, so they'll probably change things up a bit and try and, I don't know whether they'll shut up shop or want to go and attack the Blades. Be interesting to see, but there's definitely a lot to play for both sides, and the Blades need to sort of put Burnley behind them, get back to their own way, 11 players on the pitch, and just try and get another 3 points on the board.
I'm hoping it's going to be the same intensity to the last home match. It was a very similar situation where it was, okay, we should win this comfortably, and it was easy for it to be a flat experience. The boys scored so early on, the fans were electric throughout, and we could have scored 4 or 5. A similar performance is wanted, and with the reward of promotion and the excitement of the FA Cup, these boys are going to be flying out here today.
Yeah, absolutely, and there is, as ever, plenty of cause for optimism. And let's show you just one of the reasons why. If we take a look at the league table as it was going into this weekend, this doesn't include Middlesbrough's impressive 5-1 demolition of Norwich City last night. But that win means Middlesbrough now join Luton level on 71 points. The difference is Middlesbrough played 2 games more than us. Luton have played a game more than us, so 18 left on the table in terms of points for the Blades. You take 11 of them, it doesn't matter. Forget what Luton and Middlesbrough do. It's over then. Promotion is ours. That's got to be the message, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, the message is go and get 3 points today. It's been really great to see, because at the start of the season, it sounds cliche. We're focusing on the next match. They have been doing that, and they will, the moment they stepped off the field against Burnley, it was, okay, now focus for our next match. They'll be looking at this, not worrying that we need 11. They're looking at this match and saying we need 3 points. And, I'm full of pride of what they've done this season. I fully expect them to get 3 points today.
And I keep going back to this notion that next 4 games, including this one in the league, are right here at Bramall Lane. It couldn't really set up any better for the Blades. Yeah,
there's definitely that added sort of atmosphere, and we know that comes with playing at Bramall Lane and gives the boys an extra bit of a kick, and the 12th man that I know Hecky spoke about in his pre-match interviews as well, so that's definitely an added bonus for Sheffield United's upcoming fixtures. And I think we've spoken about them taking each game as it comes, but Burnley, it is what it is. We know what happened there, but straight away you could see Hecky was like, you just put that behind you, focus on this next one. The fact it's at home, again, all more to play for, a more exciting occasion as well.
Well, let's take a look at the recent form for Sheffield United then over the last 5 games, because it stands them in good stead. Obviously, the 5 games bookended by defeats here against Luton, and then most recently on Monday at Burnley, but then 3 straight wins sandwiched in between at Sunderland, at Norwich, home on Good Friday to Wigan. And let's be honest, you both watched that game against Wigan. 1-0 was the final score, but it could have been 3 or 4.
No, it was a great performance. It was worthy of 4 or 5. I was upset for poor Billy because we're desperate for him to get to 250 in front of the cut. I know he won't care where he scores.
Well, he had that one opportunity, didn't he? And he couldn't have hit it any sweeter, and that's possibly the problem.
Yeah, but the performance itself was really, really good. And if they can replicate that for the next match, well, for this match here, you know, you expect them to win because it's going to be hard for teams to cope with what they're offering. And I just think the boys are all so fired up. We've had the EFL award nominations this week. And again, you know, everything that's been happening with the takeover and with this and with that, it's given a siege mentality, and the fans are with it now. There's a belief in the fans that this team aren't going to let them down. And they've been let down by many of the Blades teams in the past where it's fallen astray at the last hurdle. But everyone really believes in what the manager and the players are doing here and their mentality. So it's really exciting for me.
Well, as you bring it up, I might as well ask your opinion, Carl. The nominations for both Championship Manager and Player of the Year, Paul Heckingbottom nor any of the Blades players are included in the nominations. How much of a surprise is that?
It's ludicrous, isn't it? You know, anyone who watches the matches knows Iliman Ndiaye is a talent that, you know, the Blades fans have seen incredible players over the years, and they're saying that this could be the best player since Tony Curry. You know, it's an intelligent fan base who are saying that, but yet the EFL have not put him in the shortlist. You know, it's a joke. The Michael Carrick's done great, but you start thinking he's only been there half a season. It's manager of the season. Heckie's had to deal with everything. But you think there's other narratives going on. You wouldn't be surprised to see Carrick being lined up for England and they're wanting to get him his credentials up down the line. It's embarrassing, but we know, more importantly, the players know how well they've played. The manager knows how well he's done. And hopefully in the PFA nominations where it's peer-to-peer, you'll get a more balanced set of nominations. But it was just ludicrous.
Quite clearly then, Carl's left us in no doubt as to what he feels. In the dressing room, Ellie, is it something players talk about? Are they aware of it?
I think it might be in the back of your mind, but only when it starts to come to this point in the season and you see things, people being nominated for X, Y and Z. But up until that point, the players will be focused on each game. They will be focused on playing as a team, getting the results, you know, adhering to what the manager said and just getting on with the job in hand, because ultimately I'm sure Iliman would rather take promotion than an individual award, and likewise Hecky said the same thing, which is absolutely the case. And yeah, I mean, it's nice to have, and their performances individually as a group have been fantastic. I'm not too sure how they're not being nominated, to be honest, but at the end of the day you would take promotion over that, I'd say.
Absolutely, and the only way you can answer that omission is by your performance on the pitch. Speaking of which, we've got a little over 15 minutes to kick off here at Bramall Lane. Cardiff City are in town to take on the Blades, and we can take a look at the starting 11 for Sheffield United this lunchtime, which features 3 changes to the team that lost 2-0 at Burnley on Monday night. Wes Fodringham in goal is the enforced change as he starts his 2-match suspension. Max Lowe is fit and returns to the starting lineup in place of Anel Amahodic, whose partner has gone into labour. We wish Anel and his partner all the very best there. And James McAtee returns to the starting 11. Ollie Norwood, the man to make way, Carl.
Yeah, a really strong team. Boulders has been absolutely incredible. I thought he was a standout player first half against Burnley. Here against Wigan, I thought he was brilliant, playing on the left side. He's just wonderful. So now we're thinking he's going to slot into the right of the free, and I have no worries at all. I think it's going to be a good attacking performance. You've got McAtee back in front of the adoring fans. It's going to be a high energy start. Really good formation. We've got good players, you know.
Yeah, we have indeed. You can see the formation as we expect them to line up. No surprise there. Greater balance, Ellie, with Max Lowe back in his left wing-back position?
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see Max Lowe back in there. Like you say, creates a bit of balance. He's still got the options going forward, and I'm sure Baldock will slot into that role perfectly. You know, it's the same sort of role, but just a little bit more defensive. But we know that he's got that quality to his game, physicality, the aggression. And yeah, I think it looks strong across the wing-back and defensive areas.
Our production team have worked wonders in the build-up to this game, and they've come up with what I found to be a fascinating statistic. Of Sheffield United's home games to this point, going back to the start of last season, they've won 25 of 42. Under Paul Heckingbottom, remember he took over a year last November, the game here against Bristol City when it snowed, 22 wins from 33 home games. That's a 66.6% win percentage. It's pretty impressive.
It's impressive, but him and his management team have been impressive since they've come here. And I don't think they've got the credit. You know, the fans, we lose a match and Middlesbrough win and some people turn on him. He's done a great job, and we're only getting better. He's shaping the team how he wants them, and we're lucky that the manager likes attacking football, because we've been witness and supporting the club, who are playing a wonderful style of football. So no, it's brilliant. I'm really, really happy for him.
We often band around this term of the home ground being a fortress. When you see statistics like that, Ellie, it's really easy to see why Sheffield United are feared here at Bramall Lane, and they're so difficult to beat.
Yeah, you always get certain teams that going to their ground or going away to their place is going to be difficult, and Sheffield United is definitely in that category. You know, teams will fear United just because of their record and position in the league, but also going away to Bramall Lane is a tough place to go, and we've got such a fantastic record at home, which is credit to the fans, the team, the boys. Everybody just seems to play better here, and the stats don't lie.
No, they don't. And that's aligned as well with a strong defensive performance over the course of this season. Just 35 goals conceded home and away. The only team to better that in the Championship are Burnley. And if you're not letting them in at the back, then one goal's enough to win it at the other end.
Yes, right. It's been set on strong foundations. Wes has been a massive part of that. I think that the back three in front of him, it's been chopped and changed, but each week you've got a good line in front of him. And I think Boulders is going to add to that. I think his communication, even though it's not his natural position, the way he talks, he'll be organising the back three like he's the kingpin of it. And I think that's a huge plus in his character. He's such a great organiser, and he's full of so much vibrance.
Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting to see how he goes this afternoon as part of that back three. Let's take a look at the opponents then for today. Cardiff City, their recent form over the last 5 games. Of course, Sabri Lamouchi, the former Nottingham Forest manager, is now in charge at Cardiff City. And in all honesty, it doesn't make for good reading. 3 defeats in their last 5. They're just a point above the drop. They are in trouble, Ellie.
Yeah, even there you look at the losses, even losing at home as well. And the record is pretty inconsistent, but they'll be coming here today thinking, can we nick a point? Can we try and beat them on the counter? I don't know exactly what their game plan will be, but at this point in the season, any points are good points. And like you say, they're in a bit of a battle at the bottom there, so they'll want to make sure they get something from today. No
team in the Championship has scored fewer goals than Cardiff City this season. Just 33, a shot conversion percentage of only 7%. That makes life difficult. Yeah,
it really does make it difficult. But at this stage of the season, the stats are showing what you're about. We played away at their place just before the World Cup break, and they play good football with no end product, and it just screams of what the stats are telling us. But we just got to make sure we don't take it for granted and think we can be lackadaisical at the back, because we're the team who, if things will change, they score 7 goals. They won't have 7 shots against another team, but our luck so I think no
one will
take
any of that negative.
No, I'm just saying that's, you don't want any complacency. But look, this stage of the season, we know this team are never going to be complacent under Hecky. You've got the senior players in the team who will not let the younger players be complacent, and more importantly, the young players, they're just wanting to write their own story. They're not being complacent. They want to scream out how good they are.
Well, let's take a quick look at Cardiff City as they line up then this afternoon. 4 changes from the side that lost last time out. Into the starting 11 comes Simpson, Atete, Renomata and Rawls. They lost 1-0 at Sunderland last time. Their top scorer is Sori Kaba. 6'3", gives them a height advantage up front, but he's top scorer for them with 5. That is the source of all problem, isn't it?
It just goes to show that they're not creating those opportunities. You mentioned the 7% conversion rate there, and you might have a big presence up top, but if you haven't got the bodies around you to feed off and have good service, then it makes your job difficult, even if you are a fantastic striker as well. So that final third for them has just not been clicking this season.
And for me, just seeing an S Cabba on the sheet, I shuddered. My old roommate, S Cabba, the amount of trouble I had with that boy. You know, it's just brought back
Let's
all
not go there, Carl.
terrible memories being marooned
It's a
with
family
cabs.
show.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take you back then to the first meeting between these two this season. As Carl just referenced, it was just before the World Cup in Qatar, and it was a successful trip to Wales for the Blades.
The final game before the World Cup break. What have Sheffield United got left in the tank? Nord on the ball now for United. Decent ball in, just a bit too strong. Sharp with the cross, it was a good one, and it was an important touch from Perry NG. Bulldogs turns across, Osborne competing. Shot from a long way out. Trying to get round Stevens. Oregon comes, gets a little touch on it. Oh, that's loose. Harris, what a gift here. Mark Harris, can he finish? United have got bodies back. It comes to Robinson. Robinson, brilliant block by John Egan. There is the half-time whistle. Goal is here at the Cardiff City Stadium. McAtee, Jai in the middle. McAtee going himself. McAtee. Comes the corner, and Kieran Clark with a wonderful opportunity. Sharp. Again, decent hold-up play from Sharp. Can he get the shot away? McAtee leaves it for Norwood. Looks too close to the goalkeeper. Fires the pass wide. Here's Baldock. Run made by McAtee. Still got Baldock for support. Tried to go himself, but Baldock takes over eventually. Baldock! Fired in at the near post. And Sheffield United take the lead. George Baldock on the score sheet. An unlikely goal scorer, his first of the campaign, and United leading Wales. Stevens trying to win it back, and does. Norwood, lovely pass. Billy Sharp shoots, saved by Allsop. McAtee is away from White. He's got Njai for support. Osborne coming up with him as well. Ben Osborne for United. Fine save, Illiman Njai. And there is the full-time whistle. Sheffield United victorious in Wales.
George Baldock, the hero of the hour in South Wales on that occasion. Will he be the hero today? Well, we'll find out. But the games keep coming thick and fast. Next up is Tuesday night at Bramall Lane. Bristol City are in town for a 7:45 kickoff. We are on air on SUTV Live from 7 p.m. And then it's the big date in the big smoke at Wembley Stadium. FA Cup semi-final a week today against Manchester City. That game kicks off at 4:45 p.m. before we return to Championship action a week on Wednesday, the 25th of April, 8 p.m. kickoff rather for that one. SUTV Live is on air from 7 p.m. Right, let's continue our build-up to today's game against Cardiff now and get the thoughts of Jayden Bogle. Disappointed with Monday night, but keen now to focus on the job at hand.
Yeah, definitely. We know what we've got to look forward to on Saturday. Another exciting game, and we need to go out there and put on a big performance. And I think we've prepared well. Still got another day tomorrow to prepare for. But yeah, how we've prepared so far has been good, and we're looking forward to it.
How much is the prospect of getting back to the Premier League driving you personally?
Yeah, it's massive. Obviously, it's where you want to be as a footballer in one of the best leagues in the world. So yeah, it drives me massively day in, day out. We've put ourselves in an amazing position as a team and as a club to go and do that. So I think now it's completely down to us to go out there, put on performances and pick up massive results.
And do you feel as a player that your game's now at a point where you can really go and mix it with the best up there?
Yeah, I think it's important to have that confidence in myself, and I think everyone in the team has that confidence as well to go and challenge ourselves against some of the best teams. But yeah, as I said, we've still got the rest of the season to focus on, and obviously that's the end goal, but right now we've got big games coming up that we need to win. And
you won't really get too much of a better opportunity, will you, the next 4 games at home, and you know that if you win them all, you're up?
Yeah, that's the objective, to go out and win. It's been like that for the whole season. We've always gone into games looking at picking up 3 points. Obviously sometimes things don't go your way, but it's how you bounce back from that, and we've done that well all season. So now with the home crowd behind us, it's a massive 4 games coming up, and we know it's down to us to go and put on big performances and get 3 points.
Jayden Bogle looking forward to the opportunity to bounce back from Monday's defeat against Burnley. Will they bounce back today, Carla Saba?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a convincing win. High tempo, good few goals. Should be a really joyous day.
Score prediction?
clear by 2.
Clear by 2, says Carlos Saba. Thank you for the moment. You'll take your position in the commentary booth. Let's get the thoughts of the manager, Paul Heckingbottom, though. 4 straight games in the Championship to be played now here at home at Bramall Lane, starting with Cardiff today.
No, we've worked, like I say, we've worked hard, but we spoke all along, didn't we, all? Every game, every moment, every month of the season. Our form's been pretty consistent since November last year, but we don't win anything for last year, so we had to do it all over again. And that's the challenge, that's the tough bit, sustaining it for such a lengthy period of time. But all that effort, all that energy has put us in this position, and it'll be nothing if we can't see the job through. However, we have to get it done. So we have to make sure that we as I said, keep preparing well for the games, performing, and accumulate as many points as possible, as quickly as possible. So that starts with the first home game against Cardiff in a couple of days' time, and then after that we move on to the next.
And of course, as you get to this time of the year, there's teams like Cardiff that need the points to stay up, and it clearly means as much to them as it does to you guys.
Yeah, 100%, and that's why there's never a given. We saw that Wigan, as well as I thought we played, and we couldn't get that second goal. We could have, should have been out of sight, but we weren't. And that's the danger, because you know it's like a cup final for Wigan. Will be Cardiff. They need the points. They want the points. And that's the interesting time of this season. That's it. That's why every game's tough. That's why how hard we've worked earlier on in the season gives us that advantage. That's why it's been important to understand how we deal with being in front as well. You know, being who's getting chased, because with that comes a different kind of feeling and pressure. So yeah, I think we've been preparing for this. We've been building for it. And like I said, we're not taking any game lightly at all. We know we're playing another team who are scrapping and fighting and going to make it as difficult as they possibly can for us.
Interesting there, the thoughts of Paul Heckingbottom ahead of today's game against Cardiff. Ellie Wilson, I detected a degree of frustration when we spoke about Wigan a week ago, that they didn't put the game to bed. Do we expect a ruthless Sheffield United today?
Yeah, I think that was a standout thing from that game, is they were dominant throughout the whole performance, but just couldn't get over the line and convert more chances into goals. So hopefully they can change that today.
How do we see it going then?
I'm going to go with a Blades 3-0 win.
So you say 3-0. Carlos Saba was quietly confident. Sheffield United by at least 2. You can see the players in the tunnel making their way onto the pitch. This is the opening game this Saturday lunchtime. The Blades with a chance to restake their claims on automatic promotion to the Premier League. Will they do it? Well, let's find out in the company of Carlos Saba and Matt Young.
Thank you very much, Rich.